Hello.
And
Welcome to
Film
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, welcome people to episode 462 of Film Bastards. I am one of your co-hosts, Matt Foster, and as ever I am joined by...
Becky Foster, hello everyone.
And...
Hurricane Ian, hi.
Hurricane Ian, a man who went to Florida and brought his hurricane with him. What's going on with your life, Ian?
My hurricane is currently approaching Cuba, apparently. This isn't a joke. A hurricane is due to hit Florida probably Wednesday or Thursday. Don't think we're going to be like in the eye of the storm. Thank God we're pretty in the middle of the state, and it looks like it's going to be affecting the coastal regions more. But yeah, we went to a supermarket yesterday, and the cashier mentioned that people had been buying a lot of water, and we were like, "Oh yeah, why?" And she looked at us and was just like, "Are you serious? No, what?" And she was like, "There's a hurricane coming." So we've been looking on the weather app on Apple, and it had been saying it was going to be rainy on Wednesday and Thursday, but no notifications of like, hey, a hurricane is coming. When we had the heat wave or heat waves in the UK, we had notifications days beforehand saying extreme temperature warning. None of that. So yeah, I've been Googling evacuation routes and what we need to do, and I bought a load of water today. It's weird. The English buy milk and bread. The Americans buy water. It's probably not gonna be a major issue. I'll let you guys know next week how I get on.
Yep. I just find it fantastic that you went to Florida and literally hurricane, not only a hurricane, but a hurricane with your name on it.
With my name, yeah. My brother-in-law was just like, "You are not going to fucking believe what it's called." Like, that's perfect, and like I thought he was taking the piss.
I like to think that literally he emailed them and went, "Any chance that you could just change it to Ian?" And they went, "Yeah, go on then, why not?"
Yeah, sounds like something that would happen, kind of happen to me, doesn't it? So yeah,
genuinely
Hurricane
does.
Ian. Let's see how that goes.
Yep.
I'm still seeing Avatar in IMAX tomorrow night. Damn it! And then if I've got to hunker down for a few days, I will.
Nice. So we have a show. We're finally about to worry, darling. We're going to do some revenge from what we've been watching, trailers, bit of news, maybe some questions, and all sorts of bits. So Ian, has anything been happening in the movie news world this week?
James Earl Jones has signed over essentially the rights to his voice for Darth Vader, and he's retiring from the role formally, and it's provoked some interesting conversation on Twitter about how, you know, for projects where you're using characters from things from years ago, why not just recast? And it kind of seems like certainly Disney are going down more of a deep fake, like both in terms of like the CG and AI assisted voice manipulation for all this stuff. And yeah, that's a disturbing trend, I think. There was a kind of a nice balance of it with The Mandalorian, where, spoilers for The Mandalorian Season 2, Luke Skywalker is in it, played by Mark Hamill, but it's CG'd kind of Return of the Jedi era Luke Skywalker, but then Mark Hamill doing the voice, and I think mocapping it, and then manipulating the voice. And I think that's the balance which which works. And there's also a part of me that's like, you know, Carrie Fisher died. And then with Rise of Skywalker, they were like, yeah, you know, we found a way to make it work using pre-existing footage. And then there is an air of Poochie died on the way back to his home planet about those scenes.
Yes.
Where it doesn't look right, the lighting's off, and it just no. And then I'm kind of thinking, well, I don't know, maybe the CG thing it is kind of the way, but I just thought that was interesting. I mean, and the thing is with James Earl Jones as Darth Vader, there's so much of his dialogue that they probably made him do that thing in Mission Impossible 3 where Tom Cruise gets Philip Seymour Hoffman to read that like passage, and then that basically successfully kind of gets all the different intonations that you could make.
Yes.
I'm assuming something like that has happened as well. But it is a little bit... I mean, what do you guys think? Like, is this CG buggery a bit too far, or...
Well, weirdly...
does it bother you?
It doesn't bother me, no. Because the thing is, it makes more sense than having somebody come in and do an impression of somebody. And it made me think, at some point, in a weirdly like morbid way, but you know, what would happen to, for instance, The Simpsons if Dan Castellaneta if he had to retire, or for a reason, or died? That'd be it. Or would it? Because they would look at it and go, well, we can't get somebody in who sounds like him because then everyone will know. But we have all of this footage of him saying things.
Yeah.
So it's quite easy for us to just do it.
Yeah.
You know, and possibly not have it sound like commentary from FIFA or 3.
Let's not talk about FIFA and their appropriation of people after this week's release.
Yeah. But yeah, it's it's just, I don't know. I think it makes sense. It does. I prefer that than them going right. The thing is, there's an element. I think he's done it now because it's the time when he can still do it.
Yeah, at the end of the day, he might as well make some fucking money out of it rather than someone doing an impression or them stringing his voice together from other clips and him not making anything out of it.
Or something happening to James Earl Jones and Disney having to look like the arseholes that went, yeah, we're still going to use his voice.
Yeah.
So it seems like it was a good deal for everybody.
Yeah.
In these sorts of things.
In other news, Final Destination 6 is happening.
Yep.
So this is being produced by John Watts of the latest Spider-Man films. Apparently he came up with the story treatment as well, which is interesting. But it is to be directed by Zach Lipovsky and Adam B. Stein, who made a film in 2018 I can't remember having heard of, called Freaks. But the interesting thing about this... So, I'm just going to read from the Hollywood Reporter. According to sources, the duo were already in line to get the gig when one final Zoom pitch meeting became what some in Hollywood called the Zoom call to end all Zoom calls. The duo made their pitch to New Line execs and producers together, with a burning fireplace behind them. As they wrapped up the meeting, the fire came alive and the mantle began burning. The filmmakers stopped and after a tense moment quickly extinguished the flames. As they sat down, everyone relieved the accident had passed. A wrenching creak was heard, and suddenly the whizzing ceiling fan broke off and flew down, decapitating one of the filmmakers. The execs and producers went from concern to all-out laughter. The bit, using a combination of pre-recorded footage and visual effects, had transitioned seamlessly and showed their unbridled enthusiasm. You're going to make that amount of effort in a pitch meeting. Yeah, all right, fair enough. Let's see what you can do with Final Destination 6 as far as I'm concerned.
Yep. Go for it.
Why the fuck not?
That's it.
And also...
Final Destination films as well, in terms of like modern horror franchises, are one of the most fun. They're just relentlessly fun. It's like Saw, but without all of the nastiness that's there.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's no antagonist apart from, like...
Fate. Yeah. Yeah. It's just like, right, mild premise, and then 5 interesting deaths.
Yeah. They do tend to be good deaths as well.
Yeah.
I'm very, very up for a rewatch of them all before this one comes out, I must say.
Yeah. That is without question going to be a future marathon.
I was thinking that, but are we actually going to find enough mileage, like individual things to talk about each of those films to actually sustain like 20-30 minute long podcast episodes for each one?
No.
I think we double them up.
I think we Hellraiser the shit out of it.
Yeah, okay. Or even like just watching them all over a couple of weeks or something and then just recording one show.
Yeah. One bumper
or something
show.
Like that. And anyway, we'll talk about that next year or the year after. So there you are.
I reckon that'll be next year.
But also, it probably you could see it being like tail end of next year, couldn't you?
Yeah, they will fire that shit out like a motherfucker.
Also, maybe the last bit of news, unless you guys got anything burning, but an actual this is a sequel for Cloverfield is coming.
Oh.
To be directed by Babak Anvari, who directed Under the Shadow, which got him a lot of attention, and Wounds, the Armie Hammer, Dakota Johnson Netflix horror film from a couple years back, which wasn't it about like a haunted cell phone or something?
Yeah. We reviewed it, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. I remember it having an absolutely batshit ending.
Yeah. It was fun, but not that great. I think.
Yeah. So yeah, he's going to be directing it. Going to be written by Joe Barton. There's nothing out there about what it's going to be, but I'm glad that they're actually doing a sequel to Cloverfield, because obviously 10 Cloverfield Lane. I talked about that on the show a little while back actually. So I did a rewatch of it, and before. Fuck me. Dan Trachtenberg directed a film and we reviewed it. What was that film? Oh God, my head. Fucking Prey. Jesus Christ. Yeah. That should not have been that far down the memory palace. So 10 Cloverfield Lane is a completely different film until the last 20 minutes, until it turns into a fucking Cloverfield film.
Yeah.
And then the Cloverfield paradox is just this, I
always forget that exists.
But I mean, that thing is more notable for the fact that they did a Super Bowl ad for it, and they were like, and you can watch it after the game. Like, that is the notable thing about the Cloverfield paradox. But yeah, so the fact they are going like, no, this is actually a sequel to Cloverfield. Hell yeah, Cloverfield is a cracking little film that is nicely intense in spots. I'm looking forward to another watch of Cloverfield. Cloverfield 2, how are we feeling about it?
Yeah, it's such an odd franchise, Cloverfield, the Cloverfield franchise, because you've got Cloverfield, and they were J.J. Abrams' mind baby, the idea about having this.
Matt Reeves directed, for fuck's sake.
Matt Reeves directed the first one. Trachtenberg directed the second one, and that was, I believe, co-written by Damien Chazelle.
Yeah, that's right.
And then the guy who's directing the next Captain America directed the third one. So they're not like the Paranormal Activity movies where they're directed by, some fucking random
catfish guys.
Yeah. Some guy who was there when somebody was talking about that they once saw somebody when they were shooting Lost. But yeah, it's the thing is about them. 10 Cloverfield Lane is possibly weirdly like synonymous with it, but because it's not a Cloverfield movie. And whenever you mention the Cloverfield paradox to anybody, they go, "Oh fucking hell, yeah."
Yeah.
So having another one feels a little bit. Fuck it. Let's see. Let's just see what happens there. Then I wonder if it'll. I'd love to be there saying to fucking Joe Barton, going, right. So what you've got to do is you've got to tie this movie with these other two movies that were actually supposed to be two completely separate movies that we made into Cloverfield movies, and then you've got to make the fourth movie make sense of it all. And I'm just going, fucking hell.
What?
And it was all just a dream.
If there was any whirring in the background since the podcast started, I think it was the aircon, but it's just gone off, and I can see that the sound form on my end was like non-existent. Then apologies if that has been picked up on the call, folks. I'm in Florida. If you think I'm not having the aircon on, you're a fucking idiot.
Fair. Ian, what trailers have you watched this week?
Oh, it's been a lot though, eh?
There's been a few, yeah.
You had that Netflix event yesterday.
To-do.
Yeah, I mean, like, to be fair, that is a fantastic name for a Netflix event.
Oh yeah. I was actually quite impressed with it, to be honest. The idea of it.
Yeah. So we've got The Mother.
Yep.
Which is Jennifer Lopez. Oh, directed by Nicky Caro of Mulan fame. Jennifer Lopez. I don't know, female assassin film, is it? I couldn't really get. Other than protecting a girl.
Spin your wheel, fucking land on. Spin the wheel, land on an actress. Spin your wheel, land on a location. Spin your wheel, land on a thing. Fuck it, Jennifer Lopez Taken movie. It just It's like it's her time. It was her time to do this. Just
yep.
And the thing is,
so generic and boring.
I'm going to say something that is going to sound really. I almost don't want to say it, but I'm going to say it. It doesn't even matter if it's any fucking good, because it's just. It's just something we're going to watch on Netflix on Tuesday.
It's content rather than a movie.
Yep. Content.
It is. Yeah.
Even though, I will say, I thought that the teaser for They Cloned Tyrone looked interesting.
Yeah. At the start of it, when they were in the elevator, and it was like, are we going to have another Netflix movie where Netflix tries to convince me that Jamie Foxx is really fucking charismatic when he's just kind of charismatic? But then the more the trailer kept going on, I started to think, do you know what? Fuck it. I don't know what's going on in any of this, but I'm going to watch it.
Yeah.
Like a sci-fi concept, but like with some like real like 70s, almost kind of like blaxploitation kind of like stylings in the trailer.
Yeah.
They're making an effort there, more so than a lot of these things, which, if I may segue, Enola Holmes 2, a film where it feels like no one actually ever confirmed that they were going to do a sequel, and then they finished filming, and then someone was like, well, you were in charge of this, weren't you? And they're all just fucking pointing at each other like the Spider-Man meme.
I haven't watched the trailer for this, because I know we're probably going to watch the film and cover it on here, so I'm fine with that. But the less I have to be exposed to Millie Bobby Brown playing this character, the better. So I figure the film is enough. I can't watch the trailers, because I know what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
Just another version of the first one.
people being annoyed at the Dakota Johnson persuasion for being a bit Fleabaggy need to be consistent and call what she's doing in this out as well.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's going to be more so in this one because she's got a fucking love interest.
Right, so you don't watch Strange Things, do you, Ian?
Stranger Things. I gave up after the first season.
Cool.
Yeah.
But you do watch Stranger Things, don't you, Rebecca?
Yes.
Right. So the only bits of Millie Monroe that I have been exposed to are she was in the...
Her face.
What is it? King Kong Godzilla movies, wasn't she?
Oh, yeah.
And Enola Holmes. Right. Is she this insufferable in Stranger Things?
Yeah, she is now.
Right. So it's a personality thing rather than she's been badly cast kind of thing.
She's just got this air of my shit doesn't stink, I'm an arrogant cunt about her now.
Oh, okay. We'll move on then. To... What next?
Netflix film I'm looking forward to.
Ooh, which one?
Bardo, False Chronicle of a Handful of Truths.
Yep. Yeah, I'm all in on this one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm just going to ignore everything. He's cut out like 20 minutes apparently.
Ooh, from what was shown at Venice.
I say release the Venice cut, you coward.
Fuck yeah, that's disappointing me actually. That.
Yeah. But I don't know. Let's see. I'd like to think if this one day got a Criterion, maybe they'll put both cuts on there. But we'll see. But yeah, it's
literally calling it already the Venice cut.
Yeah, there you go. It's closer to 2.5 now, but I think it looks cool. That looks like a film I want to watch.
Apparently, Inarritu's saying he hasn't finished editing it yet. And the version that comes out might be even shorter.
He's got very spooked by the reaction.
It does seem
either
that way.
Or Netflix have had words, but
do you know what? Do you know what would be fucking bonkers? It's on Netflix. Put the Venice cut on, put the San Sebastian cut on, and put whatever else it is that he fucking does with it on. Put them all on.
The thing is, a little bit of a tangent. Netflix have not got much award season wise this year, and the general thinking is that now it's been like a full year of films being released in cinemas. It's gonna artificially swing very heavily towards films that are getting theatrical releases this year in terms of Oscar buzz. But all Netflix have really got is Bardo and Glass Onion in terms of like what could actually really hit with the Academy. And Glass Onion is one where like it's more like, okay, it could get an acting nom or it could get a screenplay nom, best picture, best director, maybe a bit of a push.
Yeah.
That's a big problem for them because there was a lot riding on Bardo. And that doesn't seem to be paying off. But if now Netflix are saying to him, like, look, you probably want to be in the Oscar race, don't you? We'll give you some money, you can cut some shit out of it, let's just see how it goes. That could well be what's happening. And the thing is, apparently, the actors branch loved Bardo, loved the Venice cut. Apparently, Kate Blanchett was going around Venice talking about how much she liked Bardo. And actors have a very, very large presence in the Academy. So if Bardo can get into the nominations, it's got a good shout of maybe actually pulling off some wins in places.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
That's
but
gonna
yeah,
be interesting,
Netflix have been... Yeah, it will, yeah. But Netflix have been kind of caught short. To be fair, Apple have as well. Because Emancipation was going to be their big thing. Obviously now... probably not. That might still get a release by the end of the year, but who's going to touch that Oscars wise now? The greatest beer run in the world looks like it could be a fun time, but it's not got any heat on it whatsoever.
Oh god, yeah, that's not. That was never made to be more of a, what was it? It was made to be a Oscar botherer.
Yeah, but I mean, it's Killers of the Flower Moon like taking longer than expected, which I think is her Apple this time round.
Yeah, they've got one coming out. I don't think it's Oscar bothering. There's something coming out in December or November, is it? Apple TV? What is it? I saw the other day and forgot that it was an Apple TV movie.
But I mean, it's like I'm thinking of like the hot tickets at LFF, and they're not really streamer ones. I mean, like Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, depending on how that pans out, could do okay in animated, especially when, you know, people like Turning Red but don't seem to love Turning Red, and Lightyear is not getting a nomination, so it kind of feels like a year where it doesn't necessarily have to be a Pixar film. But I mean, yeah, what else do they have? They've got plenty of films coming, but just none with that particular buzz about them. Amazon Studios, I don't think have really got anything. I'd like, if people want to call me out if I'm forgetting stuff at me, I'll happily take it.
The movie I was thinking of was the Spirited, the Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds film, which I'm guessing is not going to be an Oscar botherer.
No, I mean, that thing is probably going to be huge in terms of eyeballs, but
yes.
No. But you know, we've been talking lately about the Oscars. But, you know, you've got The Whale, which is A24, Everything Everywhere All at Once, A24, Top Gun Maverick is Paramount, Avatar 2 is Fox Disney, The Fabelmans is Universal, you know, and it's a lot. Empire of Light is Searchlight, The Banshees of Inisherin is Searchlight. It is very, very theatrical release heavy this year. And that does kind of feel coincidental, but it does also feel like a chance for Hollywood to go, oh, Babylon is Paramount, you know. It's a chance for Hollywood to go, actually, like the films for the big screen, thank you very much. I'm seriously, I can't wait for the Oscars this year. It's going to be such a great amuse-bouche. There's something there for everyone. Avatar 2, for fuck's sake. You know, people are coming out of the Avatar re-release saying a little snippet of Way of Water at the end's incredible. So, who knows? But anyway, yeah, Bardo. I'm looking forward to Bardo.
Yes, very. Yeah, I am as well. But yeah, like you say, release the bed is cut, you coward. What else have we got?
Yes. We got Knock at the Cabin. Which looks like an M. Night Shyamalan film.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to it, but I understand why you guys might not be. Yeah, I'm just looking forward to seeing what the fuck it's actually about. It's based on I think it's based on either a graphic novel or just a straight novel, so you could actually just read that. And this has been getting some shit on Twitter for not actually calling out in the trailer that it's not an M. Night Shyamalan originated idea, which is fair, I think. But yeah, let's see how it goes. Comes out in February. That feels like a good February film.
It does, yeah. I just can't be asked him anymore.
I will say, on YouTube, Justin Long's new movie trailer number 1.
Yeah. Yep.
Have you guys watched that?
Yes,
Yeah.
watch the trailer, yeah.
I haven't watched the end of the trailer. What does it does it have?
What? It basically admits that it's a trailer for Barbarian.
Yeah, okay. Alright, fine.
Which I was watching it going, hang on a minute, isn't this Barbarian?
Yeah. Yeah. The thing is, I stopped watching it when I realised what it was. And I think they've really, really messed up for international audiences putting that trailer out.
Yep. Yeah.
I'll talk about Barbarian later, but and I suppose because of that trailer, I can talk a little bit about Justin Long in it, but I don't want to say too much. Because I was going to say, the reason why I was saying, like, have you seen it, is because I wanted to say, don't watch it.
I'll be honest, once I realised what it was, I tuned out. And the only bit I picked up on was the fact that it did say Barbarian. Because I didn't want to watch anything to do with Barbarian. I wanted to go to Barbarian as cold as I could.
Why is this, sorry?
Yeah, okay.
Because a few things. One, it's getting a lot of good press, which usually makes me really worry about horror films that get really good press. But then Ian said it was really good. So that made me go, oh, okay then.
Shall I just talk a little bit about Barbarian now? Because I didn't want to get... I mean, I can save it for later, but I didn't want to get too into it anyway.
Yeah, talk about it now.
Yeah, okay. So, one of the two films that I saw in the Universal Cinemark, a great cinema, a really fucking good cinema, really good. Both films were in the same screen, good screen, recliners. The chairs were recliners and they were amazing. They didn't really do ads, but they did about 20 minutes of trailers, which ruled.
Nice.
Yeah. And I reimbursed my parking because it was like, if you watch a matinee, purchase 2 tickets for a matinee, we will reimburse your parking. The parking is $27 because it's for the theme park as well.
Right.
And I went to the box office. I was like, "Hi, I'm not getting 2 tickets to a matinee showing, but I'm seeing 2 matinee showings back to back." And the woman looked at me like I was a fucking loser. And she was just like, "Yeah, I can't." She was just like, "Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, sure. Here's your money," and I got my $27 back, which ruled. But to be fair, I used that $27 to have 2 pints, one for each film, which were stronger than the Sierra Nevada Hazy Little Thing IPA, 6.7% ABV.
Yeah.
I'm actually drinking one now. So I had 2 pints of that and then autopiloted the fuck out of my way home in the Tesla. Probably needed to, if I'm being honest. But yeah, and I bought a burrito that was called the Home Wrecker. Which is just incredible. So that was basically that $27 like paid back to Universal. But anyway, so Barbarian. Go see it with an audience. I had a delightful audience. A woman behind me, at reaction to one thing, went, "Nope." And then 20 seconds later, just went, "Absolutely not." Which was great. And after it, there was probably only about 10 people in there, and I spoke to most of them. And this one guy was just laughing his arse off and was just like, "That was the wildest shit I've ever seen." I was like, "How much did you know about it?" He was like, "I thought it was a haunted Airbnb." And then that happened. And he just started laughing again. I was like, "Yeah, I know, it was great." So, yeah. I was seriously, it was fucking brilliant. Like, he was so happy with what that film was, and I think everybody was. So, I'm not going to talk too much about it. The trailer basically shows a woman arriving at an Airbnb, which has already been taken by another person, and he says, "Come in, we'll try and get this all straightened out, like why it's been double booked," and then it goes on from there. And then Justin Long is also in it. So this film does an insanely effective job of balancing tones. It is one of the most nihilistic films I have ever seen. Like, what it has to say is just, like, depressingly, yep, sure, yep, I absolutely buy that. But it's also got some of the darkest comedy shit you will ever see. Like, it is laugh out loud funny at points. Just in terms of this is happening. And it was such a joy to see it with an audience that were, like, okay with, like, talking at moments but shutting up the rest of the time.
Yeah, that's more the vibe.
Yeah.
People were enjoying it. That you don't mind it when it's that.
Yeah. I'm not going to say that much more than that, other than I think it comes out in UK cinemas October the 30th. And we will full review it then.
Nice.
But yeah, I may well go see it again, to be honest. It is Zach Kregler, I think his name is, who wrote and directed it. That dude knows what he's doing. It's not elevated, like, it's not like elevated horror in any way, but he does some really interesting shit with shot compositions, and there's some aspect ratio switching at a point. And I was listening to an interview with him where he said that he wanted to do more but just couldn't make it work. And it's like that he knows how to shoot a film, and he knows how to do social commentary, but also how to just utterly, like, delight a horror audience. It's really, really, really good. So yeah, Barbarian, or Justin Long's new movie, trailer number 1.
Do you
So,
know what other films he directed? What other film he directed?
Yeah, Miss March.
Yeah, it's the kid on Miss March. That's mental.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fuck it. Go on then.
I'll basically watch any horror movie that guy is thinking of doing after Barbarian. The thing is, I don't want to overhype it, but it's there's a lot of, like, surprising stuff in it, and, like, the plot twists and turns are just wonderful. And seriously, Mark, there are a couple of bits that you are going to piss yourself at.
Nice.
There is a decision that Justin Long's character takes in this film where when the penny drops as to what he's going to do, you are going to love it.
Oh, fucking I'm pumped for this one. I'm very much looking forward to it.
Yeah, it rules. Okay, so I've got one other trailer, which I think is probably the biggie for the week.
Yes.
Have you guys got anything?
No, I think this is the last one, isn't it? Mm-hmm. The biggie for the week.
Okay. So, future Thanks I Hate It review from Ian. Hellraiser.
Yeah. What does everyone think? It just, yeah. I'm like, do you know what? This looks alright.
What I'm going to say is going to sound really stupid, but often reboots don't. It looks like a fucking Hellraiser film.
Yep.
And that's what I fucking want. It looks gnarly, it looks fucking nasty and gory, and do you know what? I am so here for this movie.
The thing is, I liked it, but I'd be a little bit worried that it was, alright, that's a decent trailer, but I bet the film's absolute garbage, but it's David Bruckner, so I'm kind of looking forward to it. Do you know what? Yeah, I'm alright with this guy.
Yeah, I mean, look, anything from the guy who directed The Night House, I'll watch. I'm really not looking forward to it, but that's just because it's a Hellraiser film.
Yeah, which I can completely see.
Jamie Clayton, is that? I don't know the person's pronouns. Yeah, but I think is that their name, Jamie Clayton?
I think she's
Um,
I think she is trans. I think she's a her.
She's her. Okay,
I think because I did the same thing as you. Was like, right, don't get this wrong. I'm very certain she's trans. She's not, but she's not.
She's not non-binary.
No, she's not non-binary.
No.
Yeah.
No, she's not non-binary. Okay, all right, fine. Sorry, I genuinely don't want to offend anyone. She looks great as Pinhead, and that voice that she's doing is wild. Like, just really weird and just kind of really puts me on edge.
Yep. I also
She's 44.
Yeah.
Bloody hell, fair play.
I also love the fact that the latest Hellraiser movie is going to be Disney.
Nice.
I mean, dude, the fact that Barbarian is a Disney film,
Yep.
it's very funny.
The fact that there's a Disney Plus trailer out there at the moment that just basically it plays on the fact that there's a lot of very not Disney things available on Disney Plus shows that, you know what, they're actually been a little bit clever with this.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this as in a, do you know what, fuck it, why not kind of way.
So the show that we'll be reviewing this on is going to be The Woman King, Amsterdam, and Hellraiser.
That's a weird one. I need The Woman King
Cinema,
to arrive
baby.
very quickly because I can't watch that fucking trailer anymore.
Oh,
Looking forward to the movie.
Yeah.
Goes to Paris. I'm sick of seeing that.
Yeah, the Miss
trailer
Harris
as well.
Goes to Paris one's annoying now as well, and the Woman King one is driving me mad. Because
Good trailer, but it's too long. It's a really long trailer, and then when you see it every time you go to the cinema, it's like, all right, I'm in the bag. I'm gonna fucking watch it. Leave me alone.
I just do a couple of trailers and splice them in for different movies.
Yeah.
The Smile trailer's doing that for me at the moment.
Yes.
Like, but Smile is out this coming weekend.
Yeah.
And it's apparently really good. So I'm glad for that. But Woman King's week after next. Just Hellraiser. God, it's just going to be such a thanks. I hate it.
Yeah, it really is.
The idea of the guy who directed The Night House, which is a wonderfully tense film, doing a Hellraiser film, like it's an exciting prospect. Don't get me wrong. It just oh god, I'm going to hate watching it.
Yeah, you are going to hate watching it. I'm not even sure sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
It's going to be horrible.
Yeah.
Right. Let's review a fucking movie. So, Don't Worry Darling is co-written... No, it's not co-written. It's just directed by Olivia Wilde, and it is written by Katie Silberman, and it stars Florence of the Pews, Harry Styles... Olivia Wilde herself, Gemma Chan, Nick Kroll, Chris Pine, and some other people. What does the IMDb say it's about? Let's have a fucking look. Because I think these are funnier than me trying to explain them. Don't worry, darling. A 1950s housewife living with her husband in a utopian experimental community begins to worry that her glamorous company could be hiding disturbing secrets. I mean, maybe. Becky. How much did you worry, darling?
I was quite worried, to be honest. I wasn't when the first trailers came out, and then the more stuff that came out, I was about the tensions on set and stuff like that, because it can affect the final product. And then, obviously, it landed, and people have not been especially kind about it.
How would you be? What did you think?
It looks really nice. It's fine. It thinks it's very, very clever, and it's just quite clever. It thinks its twist's really clever, but it telegraphs that there's a twist far too early for it to class as one.
Yeah, I'll get to that later.
It just becomes something you're looking for rather than oh my fucking god, I did not see that coming. That's what a twist is.
Yeah.
When you know that there's something, it's, as I said to you earlier, didn't I? It's a reveal. It's not a twist because you know that something's coming. I didn't hate it. It's not a complete waste of time to watch, like some other films that we'll be talking about later, but it's not as good as it could have been.
Okay.
Which I think is really disappointing because it looked like it was going to be like just this really fucking stylish, twisty thriller, and it's not really.
Yes.
I thought Florence Pugh was really, really good in it, though. The praise that she's getting is deserved.
Ian, what do you think?
I think Beck's hit the nail on the head there. Not as good as it could have been is exactly what Don't Worry Darling is. I will just say I've slightly handicapped myself, as I kind of mentioned on a couple of shows ago. I drunkenly read like the last few pages of a version of the screenplay. So I knew that it was some sort of computer simulation. However, that screenplay has she wakes up and it's actually 2050. But then she, like, something happens and then she wakes up again and she's in a psychiatric hospital, but then it turns out that she's actually back in another simulation, so they cut that stuff out. So, which, I'd be intrigued for you guys' thoughts on this, but I thought it just stopped instead of ended. And it just, like, the fact that, I saw somebody on Reddit say this, but the fact that, like, okay, so the logical end of this is she wakes up, like, basically next to a dead Harry Styles.
Yeah.
And just what?
And,
like,
and
walks
then
off?
tries to work out, shit, how long have I been here?
Yeah. Right, so I am a bit handicapped there with my reaction here, but when I came out of it, I thought it's really good looking. I thought the sound was amazing, and I think Olivia Wilde has obviously got a sense of how to create an atmosphere of just shit's not right. But it also feels like any studio notes that were given were maybe not followed up on. It takes a long time to say very little, this film. And the mystery is more caused by a bunch of questions which actually don't even deserve to be questions because they don't really mean anything. So you guys just saw this today, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know whether you guys have actually had time to, like, kind of think about this stuff, but what was the plane about? What were the earthquakes about? What was Harry Styles' promotion about?
What was Harry Styles' fucking dance about?
Yes.
That was embarrassing.
All I can think of there
Yeah, it was.
is that fucking just one of the... It's got a little bit fucking... One of the programmers was just having a fun night and was like, look, I can make him dance. I can make him dance. Look, hang on. Look, if I see the space bar, he dances.
Do you know what I think would have been a better... Sorry, just while I remember, what would have been a better thing within the twist that's not a twist because it's too obvious that there is one? If they'd broken up because he was a fucking layabout and she was a full-on doctor and she got sick of, like, supporting his ass, and then he'd gone round and, like, drugged her, then inserted her into the simulation, rather than they were still together and he just tricked her into it, because then it would have taken the ick up a level. I think it would have made the ending better.
Yeah.
And plus, she wouldn't have been with him looking the way that he did at the end of those fucking flashback scenes.
The thing is, when I have a reason for why I don't think that would have worked, and I'll get to it in a minute.
Okay.
But I mean, this is the thing. It's like a film that spends so much time in the opening 2 acts, and like the scene with Florence Pugh calling out there, "Isn't this odd? Isn't this odd? Isn't this odd?" And then Chris Pine just like basically gaslighting her. And for what end? Because what is the ending of this film? She kills Harry Styles. She drives off. A bunch of people chase her. She manages to get away from them. And then she touches that thing in the headquarters. While Gemma Chan, for some reason, kills Chris Pine.
It's my turn now. All right, let's not follow up on that then.
Yeah, and there's no sense because Gemma Chan like really chews him Florence Pugh out in that one scene. You know, it's a really messy film, which I like less and less the more I think about it. But and more so because Olivia Wilde, I think, can direct a film. You know, I didn't think Booksmart was all that. I certainly don't think Don't Worry Darling was all that. But I don't think that she's someone who should never like make a film again. But she needs a screenplay that is not running on the fumes of how satisfied it is with itself, that it's talking about these things, that it forgets to actually have anything new to say, but also to even like make sense at points.
Can I ask a question, actually? Well, just before we get too far past the Gemma Chan killing Frank?
Yeah.
My read on that was that she's... This is a simulation that has been purely geared for male wish fulfillment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a bit in The Matrix, which obviously is a logical comparison here, where Smith says, "We tried to make a utopia, but you rejected it."
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. For the women, it's quite an unsatisfying. Nice enough, I guess. But you know, just being housewives, going shopping, blah blah, drinking cocktails, fine. But it doesn't feel like real life. So, is there? It's always the men know and the women don't. But obviously, it's like the women are rejecting it, and it's two in quite close proximity that have rejected this false world.
Yeah. And
maybe Gemma Chan just thinks that she could do better.
Yeah,
that was my read on it.
That was my read on it as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's right, but the film doesn't really do anything to actually.
No, it makes you like doesn't it?
Yeah. Like all through the film, she's super supportive. It's not like there's even a look from her at some point to key you in on. Oh, okay, maybe she's not actually into this.
No, I think
she seems to be fully.
The last line that she has, or the last bit that she has, is talking about how amazing he is.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think, to be fair, I think the Olivia Wilde character is actually way more interesting, where she's like, I know what this is and I choose to be here. Yeah, like that's an interesting aspect. Maybe play up on that. Like I say, it is the film that is most content with the smell of its own farts of the year. And that's really annoying because there's good shit in it. Mark.
Florence Pugh's very good.
Nick Kroll's very good, actually.
Nick Kroll's very good, but Nick Kroll's... They're two people who are always very good.
Yeah, but if we're looking at strong male performances in this, Nick Kroll's very good.
Chris Pine's very good.
He's fine.
But he's Chris Pine.
It's not a great performance.
He's barely in it.
But all he has to do is look like Chris Pine and talk.
And be smug, yeah.
Yeah, I'm alright with that. I don't think, actually, in terms of acting-wise, I don't think there's actually a bad performance in it.
I'm not saying.
I think Olivia Wilde is really good in this. Sorry, like I think she's spot on for that character.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's the performances.
I'm not saying they're bad performances. That's not the point I'm making. I'm just saying there's not really any apart from Florence Pugh that I would class as being great.
I think part of that is because the film is there's not a lot of breathing room for any of the other characters at all. It is very much Pugh's character's film. However, there's no twist, it's a reveal at the end. The problem is if you've got to think a film that is this kind of destination based, where it's not a twist, it is a reveal, because it very early on makes you aware that something's not right. The journey is really fucking boring along the way.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. And actually what it does is it just keeps doing the same thing over and over again. That if you're going to do that, you've got to make sure that the fucking destination is fucking brilliant. It's got to be fucking Disneyland. And it isn't. It's fucking Flamingo Land. And the bullet's closed.
Oh no.
So it's just a fucking sad-looking giraffe and some teacups. And that's all it is.
They've got that caterpillar thing.
Yeah, fine, great. So it's not very good. Every time... The thing is, well, with all of the hoo-ha that's gone around it leading up to it, every time that you're watching it, every time that Harry Styles has more than sort of 15 seconds on screen where he's not just essentially being Harry Styles and a little bit looking like a boy amongst grown-ups for the rest of it. Now, the thing is, I don't mind Harry Styles the pop star. I think he's fine. He does catchy songs. I've seen footage of him live, and he looks good. I like the fact that he fucking thumbs his nose at people by turning up on Vogue and wearing a fucking dress. And I think he's doing it for the right reasons and to essentially to piss off the right people. So this isn't a Harry Styles criticism, but he's not a charismatic screen presence at all.
No.
And all I kept thinking of was whenever he had to do any acting scenes, and I don't think he's necessarily a bad actor either.
Not right for this character.
But whenever he had to do any acting scenes for that character, I kept thinking, do you know who'd be really good at this? Shia LaBeouf. And I know that we have a lot of problems with Shia LaBeouf, and that's fine. But it's just, he would have been better at that. I can see why he was originally cast.
Yeah.
But then I can't see why, when there was whatever reasons for recasting were, I can't see why they ended up, like, film-wise, in terms of pure film, not film marketing, etc., or anything like that, because I can see why they end up on Harry Styles for that. But I can't see why they end up on Harry Styles for this role, because he looks too young. He's not got this charisma that the character is supposed to have.
He's not got the experience of turning the weighty performance that is needed either. He'd have been alright as, like, you know, the new guy that comes in.
Yeah.
That kind of role. The one that's supposed to be kind of naive and excited.
Yeah.
That's what he is, basically. He's a fucking golden retriever with his head out of a car window. And that's not what's needed for this role.
But then you've got to look at... There's the other bit. There's a bit in it where it transitions from... Harry Styles basically being, you know, seen as the dreamboat fucking husband. And it transitions from there to a shot of Chris Pine. And you look at it going, right, alright, that is pop star dreamboat versus fucking movie star dreamboat. They're very fucking different. They're both okay. Chris Pine would look silly doing playing Madison Square Garden. But there's that element of it. But it's just the worst thing you can do if you're doing something that is, and I'm going to do bunny ears, ambitious, is A, not be very ambitious, because it's not.
No.
And B, be frankly quite boring throughout it. And that's it.
But
It's good. I don't think it's very good, technically. I think it's very good. It's a lot more than competent. It's good.
Some of the little tricks in it are nice as well.
But they don't do anything. They're just tricks.
Yeah.
They just
But, yeah, I mean, 'cause
it's a winger doing 15 fucking step overs, and then a fullback's going, "Oh, I'm doing that. I'm just knock the ball away from him and run away with it."
Yeah. Disappointing.
Sorry, what you saying?
Sorry, I'll be back in a second.
Oh,
Sorry.
so yeah, I just
No, I'm good. Yeah, thank you.
there's just some. It's the story's nowhere near as smart as it is. You said, Bex, that you thought it was still quite smart. I don't think it is. It's been done. I genuinely I thought at the end of it, I thought that is a fucking weak ass story. I wonder what the ending of the book is, if this is any different. I then found out there is no book.
Yeah, because I'd read the book.
It's an original screenplay.
Yeah.
What I would also say is, if this is your end product, don't go out there trying to make out like it's some fucking raunchy celebration of female sexuality, because with the exception of what, 2 scenes?
It is because he fucking loves going down on her.
Once.
He keeps trying to at one point.
What was the bit where like he was doing that with Florence Pugh and Chris Pine walked in and watched? Like, what was that about? Like, why was Florence Pugh letting it happen while he was there? Like, that's never addressed.
Yeah, she was already in a vinegar stroke.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what it is. Too late to start the train left the station.
Yeah.
Like, it just... Yeah, alright. I don't know. I mean, like, the bit where she's like, I think she's like preparing meat or something, then she gets the cling film and then just decides to fucking wrap it around her face. I started laughing. And it, like, obviously that's not the reaction, but I was just like, what's happening now? Like, why is that? Well, you know, and it just, there are these moments that are like visually interesting. Like the ballerina stuff that's done like 5,000 times is interesting the first 1,000 times.
But like the wall coming out and pressing her up against the, what is it? That's nothing.
Why? But and why was that happening? And like the clean film bit, why did that happen?
The eggs.
The eggs.
I think that's supposed to indicate maybe faults in the simulation.
But then there's no other faults in the simulation.
No.
You can't have a fault in the simulation
but
but then she's cooking eggs later on.
Yeah.
The plane. What was the plane in the crash? And what are the earthquakes?
Yep. And
it's just
the biggest mystery of it all, right?
Yeah.
When did Dita Von Teese become a thing again? It's not 2006.
Yeah.
Right, all I can think of there is that she lives next to Olivia Wilde.
Maybe.
She lives next to Olivia Wilde, and Olivia Wilde has got a little bit stoned one time and gone, yeah, don't worry, darling, you can be in it. And then got walked away and gone, fucking hell, I just punned my neighbour into this movie. Christ, how am I getting out of this?
I've talked myself down further.
I have as well. I was on 2.5 out of 5. Sorry, right? Acting wise, like I said, I don't think Aaron Styles is bad in it. He's just not very good in it.
He's just not right for the role. And
That's
his
it.
fault.
No, yeah, you're right. He's not right for the role. That's it.
He's been put into it because he was banging Olivia Wilde, and he's not right for the role.
But
Well, he wasn't beforehand. That's the thing. Like,
So
straight
they
up,
claim.
like
So
they've just gone. Harry Styles is interested. He's available, and you will have more interest in this film if you cast him. I think it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
And Olivia Wilde's gone. Yeah, all right.
it's the thing is, I keep seeing a lot of people saying there's a better, more interesting movie in there. I don't think there is. You know.
I think there is in the hands of a.
I think there is.
In the hands of a better writer and a better director. I'm not saying she's bad, but she's not got the experience to bring out the nuances of this story.
But so in that like screenplay that I read, it's like in the simulation when she's like confronting him about it, she like straps him down and pours hot coffee on his bare skin, and like tries to shove a broom up his arse and stuff. And it's like, oh, but no, seriously, I think you need a more visceral. I think it kind of lets Harry Styles off, because you've got that one moment where like he's tricked her into the car, and then they take her away. And he's like, fuck, which was awful, by the way. Yeah. But it's just like, okay, so what? He actually feels bad about this, does he? You know, and it's like, you're the one who put her in there. No, you don't have us have this moment of, oh, he feels bad about it. And it's like, no, if you're going to do man, like, drugs woman and traps her in computer simulation, I think you can't, maybe actually don't have shades of grey there.
Yeah, that's it.
Like, it's confusing.
Yeah. It's, it's a little bit...
I wonder if Olivia Wilde's character always knew, or whether she's found out and she's just okay.
No, I think she always knew. I think that's the point. I think
she always knew.
It wouldn't surprise me if she's the only one whose husband is fucking currently strapped to a bed and doesn't know he's there.
Because he goes off with the rest of them.
Yeah, I reckon he is the one who's like fucking cleaning shit and things like that inside headquarters. He's the one who goes, fucking hell, they're driving the fucking mountain like fucking chumps. I'm gonna go over here, and he's just having like clean. Like, what is it?
Yeah.
Acting like the big man. Because a little bit there, why did they get rigged? Like, there is so many problems that just don't make sense with this film that make me just go, all right, so it's just a collection of things that you think look pretty.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, from the guy's point of view, like, how is it any different to real life? They live in this beautiful place, and they go off to work every day. So they come out of the simulation, they go do their day jobs, and then they come home. But they come home to like the 50s.
But even setting it in a 50s Americana-esque thing feels very fucking tired.
Who wouldn't want to live there though?
It's just a bit.
In a fucking space
Who
age
wouldn't
house.
want to live there?
Yeah, I would take being a housewife in a hoop dress in a space age house any fucking day of the week. Did you know back in those days they had fridges, right? Where the shelves weren't shelves, they were drawers. You could pull.
I mean, you can still get those.
You can't, because they've stopped fucking innovating with anything that looks nice.
Because that's why the 50s is always seen as this glorious time, because it was the first time that ever innovation and commerce collided. Because you had, during the Second World War, you had formation of plastics. And that's what essentially led to a commercial revolution. Sorry, our battery's about to go out. What is it? So that's why it's always seen as the utopian time, because.
But it looks fucking ace.
Yeah,
if I got to spend my days wearing a beautiful dress, doing a bit of housework, doing some cooking, going shopping, drinking cocktails, I'd be fine with that.
It looks fun.
I don't want to live in the real world anymore.
Do you know what? Do you know what though? I just don't. I don't think that Harry Styles' character on the real fucking plane looked like he had it in him to keep the uptake of her. I bet on that bed bit, the bit that you aren't seeing is the fact that he hasn't changed that fucking nappy in weeks. She's got bed sores all over.
I actually don't think in the real world the Harry Styles character would get the Florence Pugh character. He seems kind of like useless.
Oh no,
there is that as well.
That's definitely, they've been together since they were at high school, and she just doesn't know. She ain't got the energy to just fucking bin him. She's just too tired.
Oh, and the bit where like she gets back from working, what does she say? It's like a 30-hour shift, and he's like trying it on with her. She's like, "Fuck off, Harry. She's tired. Leave her the fuck alone."
And it's like, it's that one turn down that then makes him decide, right, I'm going to trap her in this computer simulation. This rando on YouTube I'm listening to is talking about, like, it just there's so much fill in the blanks, but so much just doing the same thing over and over again.
It makes his real life character have some real kind of incel energy.
I think that's entirely
intentional. Oh yeah, but it makes it easier to dislike him.
Makes it a really boring.
It's just, I don't know. Harry Styles as an incel and as a 50s husband who likes going down on his wife. It's like those are two roles that don't work for Harry Styles.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to say it. I think it's shit.
Yeah, I think I'm there as well at this point. It's shit. But again, Matty Liberty's cinematography, fantastic. I think Olivia
Aesthetically,
Wilde
it's very
has
good.
got something for atmosphere. But
Has she
yeah,
though?
sorry,
Has she,
Bex.
though? Because like
I think there are individual sequences in this film that would work if, when put together with the whole film, they kind of don't make any sense.
I think with Olivia Wilde, I think her next film has to be a film that isn't necessarily trying to send a message that she's really passionate about.
just
I
do
think
a job in the job.
it needs to be a film that is a little bit not disassociated from her, because she's a director and she's got to have an interest in what she's doing, but she shouldn't have to have a courageous message behind it that gets lost within everything.
I just back onto what we were saying about the atmosphere thing. I think this film needs a gradual building of unease, where it seems relatively normal to start off with, and then you start noticing things, and then there's bigger things. And do you know what I mean? This is just fucking. You instantly know there's something wrong.
Oh, she flashes the panties way too fucking quickly.
Yeah, which is what I mean. It's like she doesn't build an atmosphere. It's just there from the start.
I do think there's a good there's a director somewhere within Olivia Wilde. I just haven't seen it yet in her first two films, which makes no sense. But I do see what Ian's saying.
She's got an eye, and she has got some skill for it, but it's not. This is an ambitious film for a second movie, and she ultimately fails the movie because there's a better film in the movie. Make it in a few years' time when you've got a few more under your belt.
I will say one thing I don't think Olivia Wilde lacks is confidence.
Oh well, yeah, but it's fucked.
She's a white American rich woman from a very wealthy family. That motherfucker does not lack confidence.
No, I'm not saying it's a lack of confidence. It's a lack of experience.
Yeah.
I think she will do a Marvel or a DC next.
I think it'll be a Marvel, but I think it'll be a couple of episodes of a series and then a film.
I'm alright with that because I've given up on Marvel now.
Anyway, our audience poll. Definitely not shit 31%, touching cloth 13%, shit 38%, and Geostorm 18%.
All over the fucking place then.
Yeah, I'm quite disappointed in that. I think that will
Yeah.
make my disappointments of the year, because I was really pumped for that movie. I think we all were.
That first trailer was great.
Yeah,
That first trailer was really, really good. You know, if you're gonna watch a film about how women are getting fucked over in today's society from this year, watch Resurrection.
yeah. Yeah.
Have you ever wondered what so-called family films will scar your kids forever?
Putting 4 and 5-year-olds in front of this movie, it's like, if they didn't know what death was before this, they're going to know it after it.
They're going to know it after it, and they're going to be freaking terrified.
And they're going to be questioning you.
Yeah.
Or do you have the slight suspicion that your loved one has a cold, dead heart?
Yeah, The Dark Knight has got like all the orphans, and like, oh no, we're going to die. They did not build up those orphans at all. In my head, it's like, kill them.
Then look no further. The His Film Her Movie podcast is the show for you. It's the movie podcast that celebrates the contrasting cinematic tastes of its hosts. So join Jordan and Lauren every week on their unique journey through the land of the silver screen. So if you're looking for a few laughs, some fun film related chat, then get involved. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey Hannah, you know, I think you really can't beat a good rewatch of a TV show. Would you agree with that, love?
Oh, yes, I would.
Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I think during, global pandemics, storms, all of these things, it's quite nice to just sit down and burn through something that you've seen a million times.
Absolutely, nothing like a binge watch.
Star Trek.
Babylon 5.
Because you could sit there for hours looking at serial killer documentaries.
Absolutely, that doesn't
Netflix.
make you a weird person at all.
It doesn't. Yeah, you could watch documentaries that all seem to be about women killing men.
Love you, darling.
You could put off watching Daredevil for the 30th time.
Harry Potter.
But really, you can't beat immersing yourself in the warm jumper of a rewatch of a show or a franchise.
Beloved franchise.
A beloved franchise.
Lord of the Rings.
Twin Peaks. From VHS compilations recorded off television, with the ad breaks, cut out of course, to DVD box sets of Sex and the City and, I don't know, Smallville.
Farscape.
Quantum Leap. To giving up finding new content on Netflix and just having a comfort trawl through Star Trek The Next Generation or Parks and Recreation. I think that we can all agree.
There's a lot to be said for that.
You can't beat a good rewatch. So, with that in mind, join
Hannah
and Mike from Chinstroker vs. Punter as we burn through some of our favourite franchises and share our immediate reactions to each instalment in both spoiler and non-spoiler sections. To do that, do a search for the Rewatch Project with Hannah and Mike on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or whichever your favourite podcast provider may be, or go directly to anchor.fm/rewatch project. We are proud members of the Pod Syndicate family of podcasts.
Oh, should we move on?
Can we take a small break?
Yeah?
My stomach's really, really badly rumbling. I don't want it to get picked up on the microphone.
So you take a small break to get some to eat?
I'm going to get a cracker and some
Alright.
cheese.
Fair enough.
Just to fill a hole.
Well, should we do some what we've been watching?
Mark. Yeah, I was gonna say, Mark, if you're gonna stay on, Mike, I can just go if you guys want.
Just edit out
Cool.
the bit where I say about my stomach rumbling.
No way.
No, I'm not editing that out. That sounds like work.
Go on then, Ian. What have you been watching?
You got. I mean, like, to be fair, she's got a grumbly tumbly. She hasn't said like I'm gonna shit myself. So.
It's tamed by bastard standards.
Yeah, exactly. So I've got a few to go through. So my plane watches. Successfully completed my mission of watching Top Gun Maverick on a plane. And it was so good. That in-flight entertainment. It was like even like just while you were sat there before it even started taxiing, you could start watching stuff. So that was just. I had a very good time of watching the guy in front of me every now and then. Like, how many films was he gonna get through? And he just squeaked 4 before we landed.
That's impressive.
Yeah, man.
He's timed
he
that,
was
hasn't he?
I think he might have.
He's looked at it and gone,
literally.
can't do Top Gun Maverick because that's going to take too long.
What was it he watched? He watched The Suicide Squad, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and Bob's Burgers the movie. And literally finished Bob's Burgers with maybe a couple of minutes to spare. Like, I was really impressed.
That is quite impressive. That's a bravo moment, that, isn't it?
Yeah. I couldn't make it work. Like, it was. I had like an hour to spare at the end, but Anyway, so Top Gun Maverick. Obviously, we talked a lot about it. I will say on this third watch, I really like John Hamm and how his character changes, and I also like John Hamm's mate, who is like really stoic through it all. And then right at the end, when Tom Cruise looks up at him in the aircraft hangar, just does like a massive like fist pump wave thing at Tom Cruise, and it rules. But John Hamm as well, just like the way he like slowly gets on board with Maverick, but never actually like seems to admit that he likes him. It's it's obviously that film is a good time, and the in-flight version does some aspect ratio shifting. I don't think it's like the full kit and caboodle, but like there was definitely some aspect ratio shifting happening, and I was very impressed.
Because Cruise has gone, hey, if people are watching on a plane, I want them to watch it in the best possible way.
Yeah, exactly. And it I don't know, it worked. It was fine. I mean, it obviously it was more for I wanted to watch Top Gun Maverick on a plane rather than for the quality of it, But it was good. So then I watched The Outfit, which was a film from this year. Okay, so this is directed by Graham Moore, who wrote the Intimidation Game, I want to say. And this stars Mark Rylance as he keeps on saying he's not a tailor, he's a cutter, but he runs like a bespoke clothing shop in like Chicago in I don't know, like the 50s or something.
Yeah, mid-50s.
Have you seen this?
No, I'm not. I thought, is the one I'm thinking of, the Mark Rylance one? So I brought up the Wikipedia.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, cool. So basically, he isn't involved with the mob or anything, but he kind of lets them come and go in his shop, and they have like a little post box thing that they post messages to each other. And they're basically, this local mob have found that there is a rat in their organisation, and they're involved in a war with some local folks who are another mob who are looking to do battle with them. One of them, played by Johnny Flynn, is shot. Played by Dylan O'Brien, is shot. Johnny Flynn is his mate. Dylan O'Brien is the son of the head of the mob family. Johnny Flynn is like the almost like adopted son, and they're slightly jostling for power, but in a passive aggressive way. Dylan O'Brien is shot, and Mark Rylance's character kind of has to get involved because they burst into his bespoke clothing shop, and it kind of goes from there, and then it's just like twisty-turny. It's basically every 10 minutes there is a twist of some sort, and it felt like a perfect film to watch on a plane, where Mark Rylance is insanely overqualified for the role, and it feels like one of those films that I've said quite a lot, where it's like, if COVID didn't happen, X wouldn't star in Y. But because it did, and opportunities were maybe more limited, you see these people showing up. So Rylance's character reveals more about himself as the film goes on, and he's got like several kind of like monologues. But it basically it feels like a theatre piece shot for film, where like there's only ever like at most 4 people in the same scene, and it's like Mark Rylance is basically a constant, and it's people coming in, having dialogue with him, Rylance doing a monologue, and then something happens, and then another set of people come in, and blah 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 blah. I thought it was all right. It is a absolutely fine one watch. Like literally, I would assume that 0 copies of this film have been purchased on any format. It's, you stream it on a service, you rent it, that is it. I see no reason why anyone would ever want to re-watch The Outfit. But while it's on,
it's fine.
It is it's a perfectly engaging time. It's about an hour 40, and that's absolutely fine for what this film is.
It sounds like the most Tuesday afternoon with lunch movie you can search.
Yeah, and essentially I watched it on Tuesday afternoon on a plane just after lunch.
There you fucking go.
Perfect. So there you go, The Outfit. it's if you're at all interested, it's fine. There you go. And then my last film on the plane was a rewatch of Licorice Pizza.
Ooh.
So, the thing that really annoys me about Licorice Pizza is that Alana Haim and Cooper Hoffman have got really, really good chemistry. And if it wasn't for the fact that Hoffman's character is as young as he is, I'd be way, way more into it. This film is very, very entertaining. It passes time on a plane fucking beautifully. I'll say that. Bradley Cooper rules. Everything that man is doing in this film, I am insanely on board with. Just like basically like the last scene he's in before like the credit bit, but where he's just like pissed off about like not being able to get gas. He's like wandering along, and he walks out of frame, and you see these two like tennis player girls walk into frame, and then you just see him walk back and then just start chatting to them. And something about like, hey, do you like peanut butter? And like both of them are like, no. And then it just carries on talking to them, but then they engage. It's great. And yeah, it is annoying because I think I said it in the main review, but it's like if you just had the film end where he's just like, ladies and people, can I have your attention? Presenting Mrs. Alana Valentine. And if she just looked at him with that scoff look that she does, and it cut to credits, I think I would have been fine. But it's the kiss, and it's the I love you, Gary. And it just, it's 20 minutes beforehand, she's annoyed with him because he's like dicking about with his friends and pretending that like a fuel pump's a dick and waving it about and whatnot. And the film ends on a way where it's like she's basically settling and going like, yeah, all right, he's into me. I've tried a few other things and they didn't work out. And there's a sense of no matter what age men are, they're kind of the same. So if you can just find one that you can vibe with regardless of the age, just go for it. It doesn't square off for me.
I think it's... because I have a different reading of it than that. I think it's the fact that he's more mature for his age, but is also a boy. And she's very immature for her age. And she's kind of almost accepting that.
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, the thing is...
But I will also concede that if you'd made him 18 months older, which wouldn't have affected anything in the movie at all, I could see why people could have gone, do you know what, I can get with that if he was just 17 or something like that.
Yeah. I don't know. It remains to not sit well with me. And that's really annoying because everything else around the film, including their performances and their chemistry, is grade A shit. That one scene where it's like the talent agent is talking to them, and she's like, "Can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do this?" And Alana is like, "Yeah." And every now and then, like the talent agent just looks at her and then maybe starts laughing or something, or like she just looks at her really intensely. It's like, "I can tell you're a fighter. You're like me, you're from the street." And it's like, can you do Spanish? Yes. Can you do archery? Yes. You know, that scene where like she just every now and then just stops and does something random is amazing. And I will say, and I know this got a lot of shit, but the John Michael Higgins bit, you are not supposed to be laughing at the fact that he's putting on a Japanese accent or what he thinks is a Japanese accent. You're supposed to be laughing at the fact that he's a fucking idiot who thinks that she will understand if he says the exact same thing in a Japanese accent. He's an idiot. That's why he's funny.
Yes, I can't believe people don't get that.
So yeah. But yeah, there you go, Licorice Pizza. And my last, what we've been watching, did a rewatch of the great John McTiernan film, The Hunt for Red October. So, this film. It rules. It is just like the ultimate film that I think will just be better every time I watch it as I get older and I just settle into liking my political thrillers where Alec Baldwin's playing a slightly everyman CIA agent and Sean Connery is being honourable. And just like the games that they're playing to trick people into like the things that they're doing, just the machinations of this film rule. The score absolutely slaps, and it contains the Russian national anthem, which I know Russia is really not a great country, but my god, is that national anthem the best fucking national anthem ever done.
Oh yeah, it's a banger.
It fucking rules. This film is claustrophobic. It's great performances. It absolutely is not a second longer than it needs to be, and is still over 2 hours long, and that's absolutely fine. It's a wonderful film. Is The Hunt for Red October, and it's just like it's a very, very good holiday watch. So yeah, there you go. I am done.
Becky.
Hang on. That box just loaded. What have I watched on my own? Okay, so on my own, I've only watched one movie. I've been very heavy into my Stephen King this week again. It's getting really exciting. If you cared, I'd tell you all about it. I watched Clue again. I don't really need to talk about Clue, do I? I talk about it every couple of months. Clue's fucking great.
Yeah, you do talk. Yeah, it's good.
They're doing a remake, aren't they? I had a whole conversation with someone at work about this. And like with most remakes, I'm very much just like, it doesn't matter if it's shit, the original will still be there, just don't have to watch it if it's shit. But Clue is like one of those, it's like a cuddly toy for me. I just go back to it every once in a while and just get a hug off it and then just leave it be. And it's quite regular. And I'm quite sad that they're remaking Clue, and I cannot think who they're going to cast as Tim Curry's character.
It's Ryan Reynolds, isn't it?
Oh, he's producing it. I don't know if he's in it.
I think he's in it as well.
That'd be shit.
Well, why are you waiting to say? Rather than judging it on nothing.
I just feel like I might watch the trailer and then just skip that one. But that's it. That's all I've watched on my own. Would you like to hear about my book? They're currently having a daring escape.
Well, you can tell us when you finished it, rather than halfway through.
Yeah, could do.
Yeah. So I'm going to watch one on my own, then we'll do the couple we've watched together.
It doesn't care, Ian, about my inner life, my inner literary life.
What?
It's not highbrow literature either, is it? It's not like it's Stephen King.
That's fine. You've told me about it.
Yeah, I probably have a few times
Yeah,
actually.
quite a few times. I feel like I'm already there.
I just get excited.
So I rewatched, and again, I am one of the people who I'm doing one of those. I rewatched where I am the only person who has rewatched.
Okay.
This movie, I think. I'm the only person who remembers this movie, I think. I rewatched Alpha Dog.
Seems quite right.
Yeah, of course you. How many times have you watched Alpha Dog now? 12.
It's a few. I'm not gonna lie, it's a few. But it is kind of my shit.
Yeah.
This movie. But the thing is, it's a weird one in the fact that it was made in 2006, but is actually a story from 1999 to /2000. But even though it's only like a 5-6 year period in between where the film was made and the period it's about, it's weirdly almost done like a period piece.
Yeah, it is kind of.
In the sense that it gets a vibe for essentially the the place that it's taking place. It's funny that now, bless you, that going back, Emile Hirsch was like a big, was like the next big thing at this point, and he was gonna be, you know, like the fucking the like one that, like what I think ended up being sort of taken over by people like Ryan Gosling and people like that. I think sort of Emile Hirsch was kind of like pinpointed as that, as he's fucking great, but
He's a good actor, though.
I think he's an alright actor. I don't think he's a great actor. I think part of the reason why he's never broke out is, well, two reasons. One, he fucking strangled a fucking studio VP at a party. Yeah.
Wow.
And two, I don't think he's ever had a role that kind of broke out for him. I think it was a Universal VP or something like that.
Gosh. Why?
He was high as fuck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so that it doesn't tend to go down well. That.
No, I think not.
Yeah. But the weird thing is, when you go back and look at this, is Ben Foster's very good in it, but it's Ben Foster playing a fucking crazy kind of nut job of a character.
Standard.
The story is loose. It's weirdly it takes a few kind of like loose kind of like story leaps about it, but then he's also really analytical in certain bits of it. Like whenever they if the characters interact with people, so when you've got, so the story is based on a true story of Anton Yelchin's character, who his name escapes me right now. Where the fuck is he? Zach Mazursky.
Is it Alpha Dog?
It's not Alpha Dog. That's Emile Hirsch. So it's inspired by the Nicholas Kauskowitz murder,
Right.
where it was a local gang leader, a very small town gang leader, essentially kidnapped the younger brother of somebody who owed him $1,200. Kept him captive for a few days, but like in the most, we don't really know what we're doing because we've accidentally kidnapped this kid, and then killed him because they couldn't work out another way to get out of it.
That's dark.
Yeah, and it is, and it's dealt with quite dark in this, in the sense that the kid played by Anton Yelchin is spending most of his time with Justin Timberlake, who is just essentially just having him, like, kind of likes having him round, and he's more treating him like a little, like his younger stepbrother is having to look after for a few days.
So is he the kid that's kidnapped then, Anton Yelchin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But whenever like they pass somebody in the street and they interact with them, a little thing comes up in the bottom corner of the screen saying that, you know, that's witness number, blah, blah, blah.
All right.
And gives a name, which is basically kind of highlighting how bad these guys were at what they were doing. Like, that they were just such fucking idiots that they didn't actually at any point manage to, you know, have any control over the stupidity of what they were fucking doing. And the weird thing is that this was Nick Cassavetes, this was a film, like a passion project for him that he really wanted to fucking make, that he cashed his Notebook check for. And it's just weird that it ended up being this like almost like Justin Timberlake vehicle.
I seem to remember it being quite good.
It's good, yeah, it's solid. It's a solid like 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Weirdly Olivia Wilde's in it.
Gross.
Yeah. She's actually quite good in it, to be fair. But yeah, I enjoyed my rewatch with it, and it is one that I will in a few years, like 7 or 8 years time, rewatch again, no doubt.
Next time you want to rewatch it, tell me, I'll watch it with you.
Alright. So, what else did we rewatch, Becky? We went to space, didn't we?
We did.
A couple of times, actually.
The moon is falling.
The moon did fall.
Definitely, I am fully convinced it's a megastructure now.
Yeah. We did rewatch Moonfall.
Rewatch what?
Moonfall.
Oh, Moonfall. Bloody hell. Nice.
Yeah. I like Moonfall. It's dumb. It's stupid. It's fun. I like the fact that the moon sneaks up on people.
Oh, yeah.
I like the
Best
fact-
thing about that film.
I like the fact there's a cat named Fuzz Aldrin.
Yep. Yeah, it's fun. It's stupid. It's fun. But it knows it's stupid. And it knows you're having fun.
That's it. Like, it's not trying to be anything it's not.
Yeah. So I'm okay with it. We won't get too much detail on that because we reviewed it earlier this year, didn't we?
Yeah, yeah.
So what else did we rewatch, Becky?
We also rewatched Life, which I didn't remember very well.
Oh, shit.
I remembered watching it, but I didn't remember it very well.
So what did you think of Life on a rewatch?
I said to you when we watched it, didn't I? There is no way now, if Ryan Reynolds was in a movie, he would be getting killed off that early.
No, I think that was the point. I think that was the
MacGuffin.
Yeah.
The MacGuffin was the fact that he gets killed
Yeah.
off really easy, really early, and for the rest of the movie, going, "Oh, when's he coming back? When's he coming back?" And he done.
Yeah, no, I never thought he was coming back, but I did not anticipate him dying that quickly. I really fucking liked it, actually. I don't remember enjoying it as much when we first watched it. But yeah, it's good. It's bleak.
Yeah.
Fucking bleak. And it is, like, really grim at points as well. That bit where he's... Oh my god, that bit where he's breaking that man's hand.
Yeah.
Ugh. Hand trauma.
I mean, to be fair,
He
you know-
electrocuted it.
you
He
know-
started it all.
yeah. If you've got a little weird alien thing that you don't really know what it's fucking doing,
Don't electrocute
right?
it.
Don't fucking piss it off.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, the see-through bastard does take it quite badly, doesn't he?
I mean, it does, but, like... They drew first blood, so to speak.
It keeps crawling in people's mouths and doing all kinds of shit, and then crawling back out.
Oh, yeah, that bit when Ryan Reynolds died. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a I like
That's
the
a
fact,
rough film.
Yeah, that it's this
Sorry.
really fucking. But the great thing about it is, it's a really. It looks like
There's no bad ape in this movie. This one is just relentless.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's a big. It's a medium to big budget sci-fi movie that looks really fucking good, but is actually really quite nasty and quite grim and oppressive. And not a lot of there's no hope in this movie.
Well, it looks from like the aesthetic of it and the budget of it and the people it's got in it and stuff like that, like it's going to be your normal kind of Hollywood space movie. They'll face peril. They will ultimately overcome said peril.
When actually, it's a horror movie.
Eh?
When actually, it's a horror movie.
And there'll be heroes along the way. When in reality, it's all just fucked.
Yeah, it's everybody's dead day of the movie.
Yeah. Oh, and then
Like, just that ending is so mean.
yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's such a fucking kick in the dick.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of funny, just in the fucking hell, that's dark kind of way. But...
It is. You're very much going. You don't need to do that, do you? But then you went and did it.
You went and did it.
I like the fact that as well the randomness that there was rumours that it was going to they were going to flip it to being a Venom prequel.
Yeah.
They didn't.
No.
I mean,
But there was rumours there. But you,
I kind...
yeah, you could have seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could have been. That's the thing.
And it would have been quite interesting.
Oh, man. That Daniel Espinosa, what else has he done?
Ooh, he's done a few bits.
Because he has, that's the thing. Like, he...
Easy Money,
I think
Child
he's-
44, and of course, Morbius.
Yeah, and he did Safe House. That was the one I was thinking of.
House, yeah.
So, I mean, obviously he had that pre-existing relationship with Ryan Reynolds from Safe House was 2012. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, 10 years old.
Yeah, interesting. Just that, I mean, Life, it's just this original sci-fi film that's got some pretty big stars in and is bleak as shit.
Yep. Yep.
Nice. Good rewatch.
Yeah. Looks really good as well. Right, let's do our second feature review. Let's do some revenge.
Got a feeling you're going to be plotting some revenge on me.
You didn't make it.
So directed by Jennifer Caitlin Robinson, written by her and Celeste Ballard, and stars Camille Mendes, Maya Hawke, Austin Abrahams, Sophie Turner, and Sarah Michelle Gellar turns up. Plot synopsis from IMDb. Dre and Eleanor agreed to go after one another's bullies. Kind of, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, why not? Ian, what did you think?
Yeah, alright, look, I'm sorry. People on Twitter have been saying that this is this generation's Mean Girls, or I even saw a couple of Cruel Intentions things bandied about, which
I
is
saw some headers bandied about.
Heathers, yeah. If this film is this generation's those, I'm very sorry to this generation. It is just Netflix content. It just what I don't know. Yeah, what is it trying to say? People can be dickheads, but sometimes they're nice, but can also be dickheads. And straight white men, maybe not the best people. But also, hey, sympathise with these people plotting revenge who get a girl expelled and put in some sort of rehab centre.
Two people,
basically. Two people. Sophie Turner, yeah, as a plot device, and have zero. I'm sorry, I did this to you. About it, by the end of this film, you are supposed to like the main characters. I didn't like either of them.
Are you? Is that the intention? You're meant to like them by the end?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. You're supposed to.
Yeah, because they drive off together, don't they? And they sing, I'm a bitch, I'm a lover, you know. And
Michelle Branch
you're supposed to think... But it's almost like just like those sluts, they're going to be fine kind of a way or something. I don't know, it's weird. I would just say the post-credits bits, like I was just thinking during that whole scene, what about their love interests? And then you've just got those bits bolted onto the end. Brutal that they just did that. This is a really messy film, which is way too long, has a plot twist, which genuinely, as soon as Maya Hawke started telling the story of what happened, and then there's like her reaction to the other girl just going like, oh, that's terrible. I was like, right, okay, so that's her then. Fine. Alright. I didn't really care. I was just waiting for it. I needed it to either be more mean-spirited or be warmer. And it's just in this halfway house where it wants to be catty and it wants to be bitchy, but it also wants you to like those characters. And it's a mishmash. And it's obviously not made for me. I absolutely appreciate that. But I don't know how you like those characters at the end of the film.
Well, before you say anything here, Bex, right? What I will say is on the "it's not made for you" statement, which I agree with, but I also don't agree with at the same time. Not criticism of you, criticism of the film. If we're going to say who this film is marketed at, I would say that would be kids around our daughter's age, wouldn't you, Isabel? Becky.
Yes.
And Isabel thought it was an absolute piece of shit.
Can I raise one point there, though?
What?
Isabel has a much more encyclopedic knowledge of older films than most children.
And Heather's
her
is one of her
age.
favourite films.
And Heather's is one of her favourite films. And this film is basically for anyone that's not seen any other films, and so won't go, yeah, but that's just copied from that, and that's just copied from that, and we'll go, oh my god, that's really clever. Instead, Isabel picks up on the bits that have been copied from this and that and this and that, and goes, yeah, but blah did that better, and blah did that better. Fuck off, do revenge. Camilla Mendes.
I don't want to be. I don't want to be too catty, but the amount of people on film Twitter who seem to be like, this is fresh and this is fun and this is really entertaining, like, it does. I do not want to be gatekeepy in the slightest, but I am just, do yourselves a favour and watch these other films that we're talking about if you haven't seen them, because you will, like, them. I'm sure the sheen on Do Revenge will come off. Also, on Letterboxd, looking at the reviews of Letterboxd, there's an awful lot of 5 stars, Maya Hawke, do me now kind of reviews that I swear are skewing the average on there.
I did not anticipate Camilla Mendes being the better actress in this film. She's not great by any stretch of the imagination.
I don't even know who she is.
But she's out of Riverdale. You won't know her.
That's it.
But Maya Hawke is fucking awful in this.
So, Becky, what did you think?
It's fucking shit. What a waste of how long? An hour and 58 minutes of my life.
It's getting on 2 hours. Yeah, and like I said, I'm sorry.
It is, honestly, not your fault. Because I sort of saw it and thought, oh, that's the one we're supposed to be watching. And then I heard some really positive buzz about it. And I said to you, on Friday night,
Yep.
oh, I've been hearing some really positive things about this Do Revenge. Should we do that tonight? What a waste of a Friday night. Friday nights are like prime real estate.
I actually paused at one point, didn't I? And turned around to you and went, right, we're half an hour in. This can't get any worse, can it?
I begged you to turn it off and I was watching Goodnight Mommy instead.
You did a little bit, but I realised now I have to finish this at some point. I better do it now.
We could have saved the pain of watching this, you know.
I watched this last night where literally we finished dinner and I just had to say to everyone, I really don't want to look antisocial, but I have to watch something for the podcast. And I took myself off and I watched Do Revenge.
If I'd have known that's what you had to do, I would have said, please don't, Ian. Don't. We'll cover it for you.
It was, no, but the thing is, it was like, I literally said, oh, should we do Revenge? Because it's had some really good reviews. I made my bed, like, it's fine. And also, like, if I started, it would have been 3 o'clock in the morning your time. Probably would have been a little bit rude if I went into WhatsApp and was like, do you mind if I skip Do Revenge at that point? So, but yeah.
We'd have understood.
But yes, I'm sorry.
What I will say is, Jennifer Caitlin Robinson, or Caitlin Robinson, sorry, was one of the co-writers of Thor: Love and Thunder. And now that makes an awful lot of fucking sense. It is a bunch of things done better in other films, which is fine. A lot of directors do essentially rip scenes off. A lot of very good directors rip scenes off from other films and put them into their films. That isn't a problem. But when you are doing it as shoddily as this,
yeah,
it is. You've got a scene in Mean Girls where they're explaining what each of the cliques are, which is taken off from Clueless, which is taken off from I can't remember, one of the James Spader movies from the 80s. It's taken off from that. That isn't Pretty in the Pink. The character of Austin Abrams is basically just an amalgamation of James Spader characters.
Is that the 45-year-old high school boy?
Why does everybody in this movie look like they're in their mid-40s?
I don't know.
I am going to get Kai. Right, again, I had to turn around and pause it at one point, didn't I, and turn at you, Becky, and say, right, I've not seen Maya Hawke consistently in anything. I know she's in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but she's a blink and you'll miss it kind of thing. But you've seen Stranger Things, haven't you? And I had to pause it and say to Becky, is she as bad in Stranger Things as she is in this?
She's not as bad as she is in this, but her thing seems to be awkward, nerdy girl.
But that isn't what she's technically playing here.
She is at the start, though, isn't she?
Yeah, but that's a character that she's playing. It's an absolute mess that by the end of it, you're there going, whoa, hang on a minute. So, we're now on these girls' side, but they have been equally as shitty as the people we're supposed to dislike. And so it was like I was saying to you the day, Bex, the great thing about Heathers is, I get it, you have your protagonists become the antagonists. And you have them, they're simultaneously both things. But if you do that, they have to get a comeuppance. It can be a satisfactory comeuppance to which Heathers nails it perfectly. Is, JT literally gets fucking blown up. And, the comeuppance that Veronica gets is she effectively becomes the new Heather, but she's going to do it in her own way. So you have that, there's a balance to it.
It's an accidental antagonist at best, anyway.
Yeah, but that's the point. Is she gets dragged along for the fucking ride.
I just want to watch Heathers now.
Whereas at the end of this, these are all living happily ever after.
Yeah.
When really they shouldn't be. They've destroyed a lot of other people's lives.
Interesting, because the other sort of Gen Z centric movie that we watched recently was that one about the Paris thing.
Oh yeah.
She don't get a comeuppance at the end either, is there?
No.
Does she? Is
Who? Sorry.
Oh, the one where she fakes being in the bombings in Paris.
Oh God, not okay. Yeah.
Not okay. Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't get a comeuppance. Is this just a generation of people that think that they can do whatever the fuck they want without any consequences? Is that what we're seeing played out on cinema?
Yeah. It's a. Oh, it's okay. Someone will scroll to something different now.
Well, that is, yeah.
It's just not very good. I don't think it's trying to do something and trying to say something, but not anything original in any way whatsoever. And
there's nothing cinematic about it.
No, there isn't at all. It's even when the twist happens, it doesn't make sense. It's like, hang on, wait. So they all actually know this girl, and she's only been gone a few years, and all that's happened is she's had a nose job, and she's now called Eleanor and not Nora. Fuck off.
Yeah.
That is fucking Last Christmas levels of I don't know how you don't recognise this person. Levels of bullshit. It's no. I'm sorry. No. Just no.
I'd say Maya Hawke should just stick to her music career, but me and Joanna listened to her new album at work the other day out of curiosity because we'd both just watched Do Revenge. And we got about half an hour into it, I think it was, and Joanna went, this could literally have just been one song.
I'm glad that Maya Hawke is very aware and very accepting of the fact that she's a Nepo baby.
Yeah.
I am very glad about that because it is starting to explain things.
I will say though, somebody on Twitter this week had a suggestion about her playing Uma Thurman's kid and Amanda Stellberg playing Vivica A. Fox's kid in Kill Bill 3. And it is just like, yeah, alright, fine. I would give that a go. I would give that a go. I mean, it will never happen. Like, Tarantino's not doing Kill Bill 3.
No.
It would be wild if his 10th film was Kill Bill 3.
It wouldn't technically count though, would it? Because it's a sequel.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me if Tarantino got around it like that.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, if he says it's Volume 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be a good workaround.
Yeah. The thing is, the only performance I actually... Well, there's a couple of performances I liked in it. I didn't mind Camille Mendes. I thought she was alright
I thought she was crap.
in it. I thought the guy who played... that ended up being her love interest, I thought he was quite good in it.
The blue
Yeah, he was
guy,
alright.
Yeah, I quite liked him. I thought
Yeah.
Tyler Ryder was quite good as well.
Tyler Ryder was fine, yeah.
Is that-
Yeah, she was
Yeah,
quite
she's
good.
got quite a nice... Quite
Is
a
that Maya
charisma-
Hawke's love interest?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got quite a charismatic screen
Yeah.
presence to say she has so little time.
Yeah,
I think she could be a one to
Even-
watch.
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Even though in that post-credit scene where they're on top of each other, when she's on top of her kissing, it did just look like two skeletons making out, and it was very odd.
It is. Yeah, we are now at the age where young people look so fucking young. Apart from Austin Abrams, who looks like he's in his 40s.
Yeah.
However,
I
I
will
did
say-
like him. Innit?
Yeah, entirely too old looking for the part, but that guy understood the assignment.
Oh yeah, he is literally...
Such a skis.
He has literally just gone, right, read it, and then gone, right, I am watching James Spader's career between 1982 and 1988 and just playing that. That is what I am playing. And he plays it really quite well. I warmed to him the further it got into it, where I was like, alright. And then the fact that one of his fucking last lines is, right, I'm going to do cocaine off some girl's butthole or belly button. I don't fucking know. Latest bitches. And walks off. It's kind of like going, do you know what? Fine. At least he admits he's a piece of shit.
Can we just loop back to Kill Bill Volume 3 for a second?
Go on.
I want the girl that actually played Bibi to play the older version of herself.
She was good.
Yeah. And she's good in stuff since. She's in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, isn't
Yeah,
she?
she is, yeah. Yeah.
Who's she playing that?
The one that tries to sell him an acid-laced cigarette.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah, that's Bibi out of Kill Bill.
Oh, that's wild. Oh, fair play.
And she's a full,
Yeah, why not then?
she's a full-on grown-up now. She can be in a grown-up-ish role. Anyway, yeah, ratings. Stop talking about this and giving it any more fucking oxygen. Suspiria.
Yeah, definitely shit. Sorry, guys.
Suspiria,
Yeah,
Becky.
Suspiria. This is the fucking worst piece of shit film I've watched this year.
Oh, wow.
You hated it, didn't you?
Hated it. Really, really begrudge it at the time that I gave it.
Yeah. You really hated it, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah. And the more I think about it, the more I hate it. So we need to stop talking about it as soon as possible.
Alright, definitely not
Okay,
shit
alright,
17%, touching cloth 17%, shit 50%, and Geostorm 16%.
Yeah, just that doesn't seem to be what Twitter is saying.
It's what IMDb
weird.
reviews are saying. I don't know.
I would never look at an IMDb
No, I
review.
know, but in this case, IMDb reviews seem to be more accurate to the film, whereas Letterboxd are all just Maya Hawke stands.
But have you seen that, though? It really is.
No, just going off what you're saying.
I don't
No,
get
no,
that
but
Maya
look
Hawke.
at Letterboxd. Like, the average rating is like 3.4, and it's a lot of people talking about Maya Hawke Sit On Me.
Gross.
I mean, she's in her mid-20s, so that's, it's alright.
Oh no, I mean it's fine. I don't think it's skeezy or anything. It's probably
the
not a
whole-
reason to give 5 stars on a fucking film.
No, the whole choke me daddy, hit me with your car vibe of liking someone now, just it's so fucking gross.
It's almost weirdly a little bit like, hang on a minute, I don't get this.
Oh, even though I will say, the fact that Maya Hawke called her bearded lizard Oscar winner Olivia Colman, I'm sorry, that did make me laugh.
Yeah, that was quite funny.
And she just keeps on referring to her, the lizard, as Oscar winner Olivia Colman. I thought that was good.
That's of the same energy of when I had to go and pick Cooper up from the vets,
Special Agent Dale
and they
Cooper.
they wouldn't release him to me because I came in and said I'm here to pick up Cooper the cat, and they were like, we don't have a Cooper the cat, and in a full fucking surgery made me go, I'm here to pick up Special Agent Dale Cooper.
Right, Mark, you made your bed there, mate, because I'm pretty fucking sure when you originally gave Cooper in, they didn't go, and what position in the FBI does he hold?
I registered him.
Yeah, Becky registered him.
Oh, Bex, no, seriously, like, there's a virtual high five coming your way, like, the hardest, like, most precise, dead-on high five. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So officially with his
That's
tag and everything like that,
incredible.
he is tagged and registered
yeah.
as Special Agent
If he
Dale
ever gets
Cooper.
lost-
You
Lost it.
registered your cat as Special Agent Dale Cooper.
That's his full name.
Oh, fuck, that rules. Oh, shit.
Last time I went to pick him up, they read out Special Agent Dale Cooper Foster in a really confused voice.
Fuck.
And I loved it. On his insurance, he's just Cooper, though.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that was it. I went to the vets, and I was like, literally saying to the woman at the
Mark,
vets, like, saying, you just did that to embarrass me, didn't you? And she's like, yes.
Mark, how are you not more into that? You walk into the vet saying, I'm here to see Special Agent Dale Cooper.
I think it was the fact that there were so many people there.
rules.
She made me say it really
Sorry,
loud
get
as
on with
well.
the questions, it's fine. Fuck, that's tickled me. Well done, Bex. Shit.
Thank you.
Oh, God, that's great.
So the question I asked was, so my question this week, guys, with Shia LaBeouf originally being cast in Don't Worry Darling, what are some of your favourite almost castings? We got Rick Kidd said it's rumoured that they wanted Sean Connery in the Albert Finney role in Skyfall. That could have been interesting.
Yeah.
That would
I think that would have taken you out of it too much, but it would have been fun to see him there. Just especially because that would have been his last on-screen role.
Yeah, and then it wouldn't have been the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Gareth Clark, Clark73, says, there have been so many random actors rumoured for Bond in the past, but have you ever seen the screen test that James Brolin, Octopus era, and Sam Neill, View to a Kill, both would have taken the franchise different directions? Not sure if either would have been for the better. I haven't seen those, but yeah, I would have been, yeah. Go on then.
Yep.
Andrew Jones, I've been technically Frank Sinatra in Die Hard.
I'm gonna slightly question that.
I think that was
because it was like a contractual obligation that they had to ask him
because he had the rights to book, that he'd bought in like the mid-70s, I believe.
Yeah, Nothing Lives Forever, Nothing Lasts Forever, something like that. I think the book is called, but it was. And Andrew, again, at me if you think I'm wrong here, dude. It's all good, but they basically had to do a courtesy. Do you want to play this role? And it would have been Frank Sinatra, quite old, going, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
I'd love to have seen it though.
I mean, let's face it, it would have been quite funny. Brian Serper, Lon Chaney in Dracula. Go on, guys. What are some of yours?
Well, not necessarily favourite, but I have one in mind. So I listened to, for the first time since listening to Mike's Twin Peaks episodes on Chin Stroker versus Punter, I listened to a podcast this week. So I started listening to the Kingcast, which compares Stephen King books to the adaptations. And one of the ones that they did was Misery. So I did a bit of like background research into it after listening to the podcast and stuff like that. And I would have been quite up for seeing the Bette Midler, Jack Nicholson version that could have happened. I think that would have been amusing as fuck.
Yeah, that would have been a bit bonkers, that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many people attached to that role, though. Warren Beatty was attached to it.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis was attached to it and eventually ended up playing in the stage show of it. Eventually ended up playing it with Laurie Metcalf as Annie Wilkes.
Fair play.
It's a storied story. And now I want to reread it. This is getting quite dangerous listening to this podcast because there's so many books now that I'm just like, fuck, I'd love to reread that.
Fair play. Ian, you got any?
I've got none. I'm actually at this point pretty drunk, and I've got to ride some roller coasters in a bit. So I think I need to try and keep my shit on a level.
Well, mine always that I go back to this is Robert De Niro as Josh Baskins in Big.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the
I feel
original
like a bad
casting in
movie fan
Big.
for not knowing that. What?
That was what Penny Marshall originally wanted.
Wow.
She wanted Robert De Niro as Josh Baskins. It was going to be a little bit...
What, like the young one?
No, it's the... yeah. They just... What is it? It was originally going to be like a little bit darker.
Well, it'd have to be, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you get full on, just like fucking De Niro nutting into the woman in Big kind of scene. Like...
I'd have been fucking great.
Nice.
Yeah. Can you imagine that? Him chewing out the fucking little ginger kid friend. that kid would never have acted again. What? Did we get any questions? Rick Kid, what's the first film you have a conscious memory of seeing?
Land Before Time.
Peter Pan.
The Disney one?
Yeah. There was some sort of re-release at the Froome West Way. I very much remember seeing, because like after that, weirdly, the next one is Alien.
There's a lot of like Labyrinth and Princess Bride and stuff chucked in there as well, but I think Land Before Time is the first big one that I remember, and I checked the release date and it would have come out when I was 5, so I think as well that might be my first cinema trip.
Yeah, mine was He-Man, Master of the Universe.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
cinema.
When did that come out?
Like 87.
Wow. Oh, so you'd have been 5 as well.
Yep.
Oh.
Can you guess out of my family members who took me to see that one?
I'm going to go with Uncle Keith.
Yes. Yes, surprisingly, my gay uncle took me to see a movie where Dolph Lundgren spends the majority of his time with his shirt off.
I mean, to be fair, it is an erotic movie.
That's pretty great.
It's, yeah.
Fucking love that film.
The thing
That
is,
bit where he's getting whipped.
in a,
As good as that.
Yeah. Bet my uncle loved that.
I still love that Frank Langella was just like, I really wish I had another crack at Skeletor.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's brilliant.
And the fact that the end credit of that movie, the post credits, because there's a post credits,
Yeah.
is Frank Langella taking the piss out of Arnold Schwarzenegger, doing "I'll be back."
What, I'll be back?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking terrified me, that did. Jesus Christ. I fucking hated that post-credit scene.
Oh, what a picture.
The thing is, like, in terms of conscious memory, like, actually remembering watching, this is the thing, because, like, my mum and dad were, like, my mum is not, my dad was not, into films, like, at all. Honestly, my mum is like, I don't know where you picked this up from, as if I've got a fucking disease. But it's... No, she does say it like that. But, like, it is literally, I remember seeing Peter Pan in a cinema, and my next actual real memory of watching a film is watching Alien that I'd taped and watched, like, daytime. And my mum just, like, passing the room every now and then and not really paying attention. And me just being like, what the fuck? You know, and I mean, obviously it was like, ITV at the time would have chopped the shit out of it.
Yeah.
But, like, still, me just be, you know, and but at the same time, it's like the post-credit scene of Masters of the Universe gave me nightmares. But I don't really remember watching the rest of the film. But my, like, conscious memory, Peter Pan and Alien. There you go. It's weird.
My parents were so heavily not into film when I was a kid that in the year that The Little Mermaid came out, like in '89, so I'd have been 6. I asked for it for Christmas, and I got the fucking Hans Christian Andersen version, which like she fucking dies in the end.
Yep.
But I just don't think it wasn't even on their radar.
Does not compute. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this is a little moment. But then, to be fair, that's like I asked my parents for a bottle. They always get me a bottle of booze for Christmas every year. I asked for a bottle of amaretto. Like, if someone asks you for amaretto, you go and you get Disaronno, don't you?
Yeah.
They just bought me a fucking this like weird cooking amaretto, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're weird people.
Andrew Jones, what director's last film thus far would you want to see get the Avatar-esque re-release in all formats treatment, and how would you choose to see it?
Oh shit.
Unstoppable in fucking IMAX.
Oh shit. Fuck, that's a good answer.
That is good.
John Singleton's Abduction in 4DX. That's such a sad last film.
It really is.
Ooh.
Go on, Bex.
Avatar in standard format.
Avatar in 4:3.
Just
Right,
I can't watch 3D and I can't watch fucking IMAX without giving me a headache. So just standard format.
Eyes Wide Shut. 3D.
Oh, there'd be some stuff flying at
That's
the screen.
another thing, right? Just to quickly go back to Do Revenge.
Oh, go on.
Right? Very quickly.
Can we not?
Right? So they have this party, this admissions party. You've got to hand your phone in. And then but nothing crazy is happening at that party. It is like the most fucking tame in-betweeners-esque party you could fucking imagine.
Yeah.
You needed some donkey show shit during that, didn't you?
I was expecting it to be something fucking Eyes Wide Shutty, and it wasn't.
No,
it
'cause
was just boring.
In all seriousness, though, that is a point that, like, the sexy stuff in that film is really tame. And I'm not saying that I want to see, like, teenagers, like, going at it or anything like that. But if I was 15-year-old me watching, like Cruel Intentions, when that came out, like 2000, 2001, or was it in
99.
late 90s?
99.
99. Alright. So I was 15 when Cruel Intentions came out. When that came out, yeah, man, I wanted to see Sarah Michelle Gellar and Selma Blair kissing. You know, and it's like, yes, okay, you've got that bit at the end, but it's like, and there's a lot of people on Letterboxd as well. Seriously, look it up after, guys. But a lot of people going like they needed to get it on. The sexual chemistry was ridiculous. No, it wasn't. But at the same time, maybe dare to just be a bit hotter.
Yeah,
I don't know. For that audience, I'm not necessarily that I'm going to take anything out of it, but it's just like it felt restrained, and the fact that that girl, Carissa, it's just like, oh, she did drugs in that garden, that greenhouse, so now her life is ruined forever. It just, again, it's this weirdly, slightly conservative bent where you can't do anything too, because it might be offensive.
But yeah, it was a little bit. It was quite tame. No.
But anyway, Eyes Wide Shut, IMAX 3D. There you go.
Yes. No, there's a question. I'm currently avoiding detail/opinion on Athena and Barbarian, knowing only that they are supposedly worth watching. So my question is, what are your respective relationships with Going In Cold, and do you have any examples where it really helped or hindered your experience?
Film festival watches are always quite good for that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go on, Bex.
With you saying about film festival, what was that one that I ended up getting obsessed with that we saw at...
Slice.
Yeah. That was really good. Didn't know anything about that. On a hindered kind of level.
Obsessed to the level that you bought the Blu-ray of it, and we still have it, and it's only in French.
It's got subtitles.
It doesn't.
French subtitles.
French subtitles.
Is that Slice?
Yeah.
No, we've got it since.
That
we
fucking
got an
never
iTunes,
got a UK release, did it?
No, I never got it. No,
Is it on iTunes?
You get it on iTunes, yeah. But yeah, we bought the Blu-ray 'cause for years you couldn't get it anywhere. And so we bought the Blu-ray, didn't we? And then realised when it arrived that it didn't actually have an English track or subtitles.
No, I think it does have English subtitles,
yeah.
but it has, what's it called when it's always there?
Hard-coded.
Yeah, it's got hard-coded French subtitles. So you can have the English at the top, but the French is always at the bottom, so it cuts the picture down to a really small level. From a negative point of view, if we're talking about like expectation, Prometheus broke my heart.
Yep.
I think Going in Cold is really good, to be honest. You know, when you've got the weight of expectation on something, I mean, a couple of recent examples that have really kind of baffled me have been like Hereditary and Midsummer. All the buzz that they were getting, and you go in thinking they're going to be really good, and it's just like, oh, right, okay. I think Going in Cold is always better, if you can.
Yeah. There's certain ones where like you can have too much in trailers that give it away.
Yeah.
Like, there was that Nicole Kidman and Daniel Craig one. Like, was it some house?
The Invasion.
Yeah. Where it basically,
no.
It was
Dreamhouse.
Dreamhouse, yeah. Where it basically just gave away the entire film in the trailer. Like, really badly gave away the film. But yeah, sometimes when you just when you don't watch it in a film, just smacks you on the face can be great.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why I think we get too many trailers now sometimes.
Well, I found it quite refreshing because I hadn't seen a trailer for that 3,000 Years of Longing
Oh yeah.
before I went to see it. So that was a nice surprise. But then I wasn't expecting too much from it because, like, I think a lot of people were expecting it to be quite fantastical and more about like the genie side and less about the sitting in bathrobes in a hotel room side. Whereas I didn't have that expectation, so I got to just enjoy it for what it was.
Cool. Ian, what are we covering next week?
So, Blonde.
Oh god, yeah, that's this week, isn't it?
Gotta find 3 hours to watch that. At some fucking point while I'm out here. Smile, I think. Can we do that next week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And
very much.
Are we going to get to? Is everyone going to be able to get to the greatest beer ever?
Town next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
Friday. Yeah. Right. Are we letting Becky off the hook for Avatar?
Eh?
Are you watching Avatar, or are you wanting me to go on my own?
I don't want to watch it now.
Bex, could you just at least the 2D version, like just at home, like if you can rent it or something?
Is it on? Is it not on Disney Plus?
It won't be now.
No, they took it off.
That's fucking shitty.
But this, to be fair, this version of Avatar has a very, very, very minor addition. And I think this might now be Cameron's This is Avatar 1.
That's fucking not cool, though.
Oh, they really re-release it every once in a while, don't they, to just get the fucking box office up again. It's fucking pathetic.
It is a little bit cynical the way that he did release at that time, just so he could get back ahead of everything.
Yeah, it's just gross. It's just capitalism at its fucking worst, and I don't want to feed it.
My thing is, I never watched it in IMAX, so I want to watch it in IMAX. That's the thing. Like if I'm ever gonna truly appreciate Avatar, I'm gonna watch it in the version in IMAX, where I think in this one he's messed with the frame rates in certain scenes. Like if it's basically Cameron's definitive vision of watching Avatar, fine, all right, I'll watch it.
Do you know what I think would be quite amusing? If once this one with Avatar, this new release is gone, if let's say next summer or this time next year, if Disney went, fuck it, we're releasing Endgame again in IMAX, just to bump it over Avatar.
Yeah, I'd love that. I'd love that, and I would go and see it again.
I guarantee if you release Endgame again next year, towards the end of blockbuster season, you'd bag 200 million.
Summer holidays, release it in the summer holidays. Well, I was going to say I'd quite like to go see Moonage Daydream, but if we've got Avatar to do as well, I don't think we'll make 3 cinema trips, will we?
We'll see how we get on. Right.
Well, I mean, no. Look, hey, the Avatar thing is very, very much me led. If you can see Moonage Daydream at the expense of Avatar, just go watch Moonage Daydream.
Okay. I do really want to see that.
But do go watch Smile though, because apparently it's really good.
Yeah, I'm keen for that. To be fair.
We are a Pod Syndicate podcast. There are other Pod Syndicate podcasts. But towards the end of the show, I'm not going to do the full ramble on that. Also, go and check out our Pod Syndicate YouTube, because there's other bits on there now. So yeah, thank you very much, Rebecca.
Thanks, Mark.
And thank you very much, Hurricane Ian. You go and enjoy some fucking parks, mate.
I'm going to go throw up on the Star Wars Rise of the Resistance. Woo!
Maybe have a coffee before you go.
I'm straight up pissed.